On today's video, we are going to go over Digital Foundry's second take on the Intellivision Amico. I have not seen this video yet at all, but a lot of people have messaged me and said it's pretty brutal towards the Amico. So we'll watch it and see what they have to say because I have high hopes for this. So I'll click play now.
Intellivision Amico, right? What's going on here? Because the the notes here read simply a disaster of epic proportions.
Okay, so
Disaster.
Rich,
Look at John
what do
on the
you
top
know
right.
about the Intellivision Amico?
I have to pause it. A disaster of epic proportions. Wow, that is. Remember my last video? I said Digital Foundry usually tries to keep it professional and not completely, take the easy jokes against the system, but that's pretty scathing.
I think as much as I need to know, which is nothing.
Okay, yes, good answer. So, and this is
Laughing at
kind
it
of
again.
funny. We won't be spending too much time on this, simply because there's not much.
Still
to say.
rocking the Ninja Turtle headphones or the headset?
Last week when we did our E3 roundup, we had a very short segment where we talked about the Amico because it had a presentation at E3 where they seemingly updated people on the status and the latest game builds and all this kind of nifty stuff. And
Nifty.
John and I watched it, and we haven't been paying attention to the Amico stuff much. It's not really in our ballpark.
As most of the
And for Digital Foundry, it's not even really that relevant
other
because it's not something that's going to
gaming
push tech very
journalists,
far.
same thing.
So it's just it's not something we generally look at. However, as we did that segment, let's just say we got some colorful messages from a certain fan base telling us that we should do more research, we should look more into it because it will actually impress us. So we
Is that
listened to
sarcasm?
the Amico fans. We did the research and we were baffled, horrified, and puzzled by everything we found.
Oh my
Thank you, Amico fans, for telling us to check it out.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. He even smiled. Was it really the Amico fans who suggested that they check it out? I wonder if that's really actually Relic Gamer or someone who did that, because I think it's more like the folks who are not a fan of the Amico who would say check it out because you'll uncover a lot more of the bad stuff, but wow.
But the one of the biggest shockers for me, as I actually did something which will make you all question my sanity, but I watched every single Amico video I could find officially from Amico
Oh man.
on YouTube to see through the
Poor guy.
beginning till now what had been actually shown off and what were the updates that were at E3, because of course as it happened at E3, we hadn't had like the foresight of sitting down watching every single presentation
Because
from
no one
Amico.
cares.
But I looked around and I found about 90% of what was shown in the video at E3 to be old footage.
It was.
As of like August of last year. So there was a couple of snippets of new games. There was a soccer game and a shooter, I believe, that we saw that seemed new, but we
So
can't
this is what's going to
verify.
happen if
But
any
the rest
gaming
of it
sites
was
actually look into the
footage
system.
of
They'll see
games,
just all the flaws and what everyone's
performing
complaining
quite
about.
poorly, mind you.
Oh yeah,
from
very
last
poorly.
year, quite poorly, which seems to suggest that this won't be pushing any.
Well,
technical
beyond that,
achievements.
I actually get press emails from them now, which is interesting. And they sent out one yesterday saying, "Hey, we have a brand new trailer from E3
Oh, geez.
2021, featuring new gameplay footage."
The one that's the
But it
same as
turned out to
2019.
It is it's the 2019 trailer from Gamescom repackaged.
Oh, it's so
Tommy
amateur.
Tallarico's in there. They changed the color grading on him, so he's like less orange now.
He's totally seen the
They
videos
changed the
that
lower thirds.
the
They added
sensible
a
person
couple
put
new
up.
clips. They swapped out the CG renders of the Miko itself, and now it's white instead of gold. But it's otherwise like you can put it split screen, and we should probably even do it right here. But as
They're
you,
doing
you
the
know,
same thing.
it's the same video. And I was baffled, like, why
Baffled
would they
again.
put out in an email saying, here's this brand new video, and it's actually the same video from
This
2
is
years ago.
so good.
Which is similar to what they did with E3, where they just used a bunch of old stuff as well. And on top of that, in that email, it's hard to get a YouTube channel started, but they linked to a YouTube channel in there that has like
Which channel
big
was it?
coverage for it. It's basically a channel that has like 500 something subscribers. and it's just odd to
It's
see this.
called the Amico kid, right?
He's in there as well, yeah.
Oh, they're making fun
Which,
of the
whatever,
Amico
that's fine.
cult people.
So there's that, and there's just swag and stuff.
Oh,
There were a
that's
number of
so
things that were raised to us in the
sad.
comments section regarding our E3 roundup. One was the fact that there was someone that pointed out very clearly to me that Amico, Intellivision Amico as a company, has not started the marketing yet. They're not spending
Yes,
money on
they keep
marketing.
going on
Therefore,
that.
it is unfair of us to bring it up with
They haven't
the
hit
other
those target
conferences
audiences
because
of the
they
seniors or
spent
the
money on their presentations
soccer
and blah,
moms. They
blah,
always
blah.
bring that up.
Amico hasn't gotten there yet. This is false in the sense that we are getting press emails, which clearly states that
Calling them out.
this is being marketed. Whether or not they have money for it, it doesn't matter. The press is getting updates, and they're supposed to follow up on
And if they're not
this.
spending money, who filmed and edited those videos?
Exactly.
Well,
So obvious.
Let's just say that whoever did that should probably practice a little bit more.
Oh,
And I edit the
burn!
show. But like the whole
Oh,
marketing thing
jeez, they're
not
just
being
ripping
started
them.
is false. It's at E3, and they clearly have spent money, and
Poorly.
it's not even about being unfair because what all they needed to do was get a capture card, play the games that they have
Yep.
in an updated fashion.
What we've been
because it's been
asking and
over a
saying
year.
for months.
That takes less than an hour. That's just a Elgato kit, or it's an AverMedia, or if it runs on composite, get a RetroTink. I don't know what it runs on. I'm guessing HDMI. Yeah, and then they also pointed out that there was tons of developers for it, and we hadn't even looked into the games coming out. And I actually contacted
Uh-oh.
a few developers I knew had some kind of connection to the Amico.
Before I click play to continue on, but how funny is that? All of us small channels have said the exact same stuff over the last several months. Just how easy it would be just to quiet all the naysayers by just capturing a bit of footage, even if it's it shouldn't be an early build. The system was supposed to be out a long time ago, so they should have a good batch of games that are in the final stages or beyond final stages, like already ready to go. They can't spend the time just to take a couple minutes to show us new footage. This is why I think they are running out of money, and the games aren't complete. They only have a few games, and that's funny. Click play.
Speak confidentially, and not that nothing salacious came out of that, but just kind of it was clear from one thing that there's very little communication from Amico to the developers at the moment. And second of all, a lot of this, when you say developer, it makes it sound like the big studios are involved and whatnot.
Yeah, no.
But what's clear is that there's a lot of enthusiasts developing for the Amico, one-man operations and such.
One man.
This is all fine, but it's not necessarily. It doesn't bring a lot of confidence to a console that
Especially when you're trying to sell a console that's $250.
because this is actually releasing in October.
So they say.
So they say.
Yes, we'll see. I have my suspicions that in August we'll see delay again because I don't know if they've been able to source all the parts, and that could be because of the pandemic. So that's not to say that they're unprofessional or anything, though they should probably be more transparent where their production line is at because the people we talked to could not even answer this. So it's kind of everything is up in the air regarding this.
This is bad for Intellivision.
Yeah, we could. The thing is, we tried to find answers from and we don't have any investment in this, so we don't care whether or not it's positive or negative. We just because the fans of the Amico came to us and said, "Hey,
fans of the Amico,
Ratface, go find more info," because he didn't look. I went and looked. And,
this is awesome.
We found more questions that raised more concerns.
The fact they talked to developers and the developers couldn't give answers, and they said that there's been poor communication, just shows just how bad this. What a gong show! This is going to end up as the worst console or idea in gaming of all time. This will definitely surpass the Phantom and a bunch of the other ones.
Fundamentally, we'd like to see this succeed. I like the idea of it. It's just that what they're showing is questionable.
Terrible.
Okay, fair enough. Just one question I've got. arising from all of this is Ratface, your official hacker alias.
Yes. That was someone greeted me like that. I didn't know that my middle name was actually
Oh
publicly
god.
known.
The Amico
out
fans
Very
are
nice
just
to meet you
so
too.
childish
But,
and
yeah,
so
we
immature.
actually got this is also a bit concerning because a lot of the messages we got regarding the Amico was quite aggressive.
Yep.
And this is
Aggressive.
something that I think the Amico Corporation should kind of be aware of.
Their
is the
fans
fact
are
that,
bad. And Tommy's
it's okay to be passionate and it's
is
okay
bad.
to cultivate the passionate group. But the moment a journalistic outlet like us comes and looks at it because they send us press materials and we don't have any answers to draw from
So-
that press material, then
so
it's not
bad.
it's not up to us that we have to go and confidentially get people to talk and all this stuff. We should be able to at least see where in the production line this is at. Can we expect the console in October? This is a big question. But we should be clear about one thing though, John.
With that.
The price is not $299, it is $249.
There you go.
So
Wait. Are you okay? Well, the thing is though, is I just clicked on within the link of that email they sent out. They have links to pre-order the console, and they all say on sites like GameStop that it retails for $299.
so you're actually correct then, because we got a lot of messages.
Unclear
saying-
messaging.
Okay,
It is
I see what's
$249,
going on.
but the
Some-
purple edition's $299.
So there's, the Galaxy Purple is $299, and the Graphite Black and Glacier White are $249. I see. So they upsell the Galaxy Purple color for $50 more. So that's where the confusion stems from.
We also need to note that in that presentation, which reuses a lot of footage, but the new footage, most of the people made use of cell phones, and
what I
most
brought
of the
up.
footage that was shown using the Amico controller was kind of hidden and obscured. And I was looking at stuff from, one was in August of last year, and it was something earlier this year. And there seems to be kind of like one prototype controller
Yep.
that everyone has in the Amico Corporation. But it has
it's not working.
a ton of lag. And I looked at the presentation again. They keep saying
no,
that
Leo
the
just made
firmware
it up,
hasn't
right?
been updated, therefore the system is not running proper. This could be true, and I mean, in development, that's something that happens. But
Not 4 months out of
as
release.
we're now 4 months out.
There we go.
It is pretty concerning to put
Brought
out
up
a
the leg.
YouTube
Oh, this
video
is-
where
You're
you have
just
Photoshop stock
absolutely slaughtering
images,
them.
which was brought
With
up on
just
Twitter.
facts.
And it's not that using stock images in itself is an issue. Everyone does that, but it's the fact that it's 4 months out and you should be having prototype units and
Exactly what
the
Sam
ability
said
to
on
shoot that.
Ars Technica.
That doesn't take a lot of time or resources either. That's just setting up a camera on a tripod and holding the controller.
Yeah.
Some people do
And
it,
what he said earlier,
but
with the
there's not
questionable
enough
footage of
it
the
actually being
motion
put
controls.
into actual use with the console in the video.
The only photos I saw of it being used was there was some interview on IGN Middle East specifically with Tommy on this, and they did seem to have some photographs of the controller working. So that's like the
Wait till you
closest
see
thing
the
I could
animated
find.
picture where
It's
it
kind
has
of, we
lag.
were talking about the Wii U. We did a Wii U conference for Patreon recently where we talked about communication of your console, and man, the communication around this thing is just so confusing
Abysmal.
and weird. And even we're talking about the competition thing, which we also got pretty heavy messages about, the fact that we should not compare this to, for example, the Evercade Versus. But the Evercade Versus is
I made a video
clear
about that.
comparison
It
because
also receives new
runs
games as well as old, both.
from like Mega Cat Studios, Bitmap Bureau, like these kinds of people. It is set up. It's a cheap device set up for family use, and not, there's the
Make sure to check out my
Intellivision,
video on that.
flashbacks, the AtGames devices.
Because
There's
it was a
ton of
much
these
better
devices
value
out
for the
there that
Evercade.
retail
Same idea.
for, no,
Lot easier to use, cheaper.
99.
We'll have to talk about this more in the future, but I think fundamentally, if it's like you're looking at this versus the same cost for a Nintendo Switch, I just don't.
Yep.
I can't see why this would ever win out over that.
Be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so the concern for us as we wrap this up, it's just kind of at 4 months out, this doesn't seem feasible. I mean, it doesn't seem like we haven't seen any proof that the consoles have been manufactured, have been tested, are ready to be sent out. So I'm guessing we're going to see a situation where maybe pre-orders get sent out, but no retail units. That could be, or just gets a delay into 2022, of course.
I'll go with the
That's
delay.
possible as well. But they really should be a little bit more transparent with the press as they move so close
press
to the
and the
actual
fans.
release of October. I think it's October 8th. It's supposed to come out. And we don't know much. Originally, they announced about 60 games at launch, I think, and now it's about 25. So, I mean, things have changed.
You don't even know what games they are.
There's names involved from the beginning that now are no longer mentioned
Jay Allard,
in terms of the staff.
Perrin Kaplan.
So a lot of things that seems to be kind of...
Seems like they've
not
done their
working
research
out
and
the way they
finding out how
wanted
bad
to.
it is.
And this, again, this can happen in the development phase. So it's not to say that this is unacceptable. It's just the transparency of it is concerning.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's move on. Final sort of news point that we've got.
Okay. So that was pretty bad. I didn't watch that video up until just now. And they did their research as a media company or a gaming journalists. They received press kits, press news, all this other stuff. They ask questions and they get crapped on. Sounds familiar. It's the only thing I didn't know about was the poor communication with the gaming developers or the developers. So I'm really wondering if these are just like one-off people making the games. I thought at least it was like little indie studios of 3 to 5 or 10 people. Hugely concerning because even like one person, that's not enough. And the quality of those games, how good or bad are they going? Well, how bad are they going to be if you only have one person working on them? Very questionable. So, what else is there to say? I'll keep posting more videos. I hope more different sites like Digital Foundry. I love Digital Foundry. Some people aren't fans of them, but I've watched them for the last 6 or so months, and I find them really good. They're very impartial. Usually, they just let the numbers and the facts speak for themselves. So some people don't like it because they said that Xbox One sucked compared to the PS4. But if one has better frame rates than the other, that's the way it is. But anyways, getting back to this, they did their research. They got crapped on. The guy got called rat face. It goes along with how Sam at Ars Technica is being called out, and they're trying to discredit him, being extremely unprofessional. And of course, Tommy's not stopping them. So what can we say? Hopefully more videos come out like this. I'll post them as they do, and make sure to leave more hate comments or nice comments and subscribe. And I thank everyone for leaving all the comments lately. It's been really nice. And have a good day.